If you don't know me and you haven't seen my videos, it will become very quickly clear that I'm slightly in love with Emma Thompson, and I have now seen every single one of her films with the exception of Hospital, which does not exist. Loads of us on Twitter have been trying to find it. It was released on VHS. I cannot find a single copy to purchase. It's impossible to get hold of. So if you know where I can find a copy of Hospital, please, please, please let me know. However, I have seen every other one of her films that are presently available for public consumption, and I promised myself that I would do this video, and I sat down to do it and started pulling out hairs because it was impossible to narrow down all of Emma Thompson's amazing films to just 5 favourites. So I want to give honorary mentions to 3 of them. The first one is The Tall Guy, which is hilarious but also really sweet and very underrated in terms of Emma Thompson's films. And then we have Junior, which is just wonderful and great fun, and it's Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, and I love it. And also the Song for Lunch, because it's just she and he, or her and him, and it's Alan Rickman and Emma Thompson, and it's just, it's breathtaking. Oh, and I also want to put Brideshead Revisited in the honorary mentions. It's probably one of my top 10 favourite films, but I don't consider it to be an Emma Thompson film. If I'm in the mood for an E.T. film, that's not one that I go towards, but it is perfect. Oh, and I'm also not including the Harry Potters in this for the same reason, because although I'm a massive Harry Potter fan, I don't consider them to be Emma Thompson films. Okay, so in reverse order, we start with Stranger Than Fiction. She plays an author who is narrating this story, and then this story is being played out in real time to us, and she has ultimate control. And I do have to say that I'm biased, I am an author, I completely relate to this character and her stresses and anxieties, but I also think that she plays the character fantastically well. We don't get to see as much of her as I would have liked because she's narrating it, so she's not always in the story, she's telling the story, but when we do get to see her, it's some of my favourite moments. Then we have one which I consider to be the best of British. If you know me, you'll know that I'm drawn to anything that incorporates some of the greatest comedy actors in British history. This one does. Peter's Friends is about a guy called Peter, and all of his friends come together in his house and they just have an evening. And it's all of these kind of character traits and they interact with one another, and I love it so much. And she plays a very vulnerable character in this, very sweet and innocent character, and I think she's very good at that kind of role. She's very good at every kind of role. I'm biased, I love her. And you know, this film is amazing. Stephen Fry's in it, Hugh Laurie, Imelda Staunton, so many incredible people. But for me, I love Emma Thompson in this. She steals the film, even though she's probably the character who says the least. The person you need is Nanny McPhee. Small C, big P. I don't think this list would have been fair had I not put Nanny McPhee on it. I love Nanny McPhee. Now, the fact that she plays this amazing magical character who is very Mary Poppins-like is incredible, because she's so magical as an actress, and I love her. And Nanny McPhee is an amazing character. She's very likeable, even though she's quite seemingly nasty to the children because of the way the children respond, but the film is so sweet. I did make the decision to put only the first Nanny McPhee in this film. Nanny McPhee in The Big Bang is amazing, but it just isn't quite as good as the first film. And the fact that, you know, she created this character, she wrote this film, it's completely Emma Thompson, and I love it. So we come to the last 2, and I had a lot of difficulty picking between which position to put these in, because while the one that's in the first position is one of my top 5, maybe top 6 all-time favourite films, the one in the second space is a film after my own heart, and that is Carrington. Emma Thompson plays Dora Carrington, and I am madly in love with Dora Carrington. She's just phenomenal. She's an artist, she was friends with Virginia Woolf, was madly in love with Lytton Strachey, and this film is so emotional. It goes through her whole journey with Strachey and the time they spent at Hampspray, and then her inevitable demise. I won't say more than that in case you don't know anything about Carrington. And I could not think of a more perfect choice for playing Carrington. She just really, Emma Thompson really gets the emotional aspect of Carrington, and she looks wonderful with the little golden bell haircut. Oh, it's wonderful, and I'm so glad that Emma Thompson was the one to play Carrington. Then at the end, we come to my favourite, Saving Mr. Banks. As I said, one of my all-time favourite films. She plays P.L. Travers, the author of Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins being one of my all-time favourite other films. And I've never seen such a hilarious yet emotional portrayal of any character, any author. It's amazing. P.L. Travers goes to California, and it's all about the development of Mary Poppins as a film and how we have come to love it today. And there's one moment where she goes mental in the Disney hotel, and then there are other emotional moments where she's reflecting on her relationship with her father, and it's an incredible, incredible film. I will at some point endeavour to rate them all from worst to best, and I'm sure there is a worst. I don't know which it would be, but there probably will be a worst. There has to be a worst. But if you know where I can find Hospital, that's Hospital with an exclamation mark, please let me know, as I'm desperate to kind of complete that list of Emma Thompson films. Thank you for watching this. Please do let me know your top 5 Thompson films, and I'll speak to you all soon.